everybody, I'm Professor Random, and welcome to part 5 of the audiobook series. Today we're going to continue reading Among the Hidden by Margaret Peterson Haddix, and we're going to continue in Chapter 4. Last time we read Chapter 3, and surprisingly, throughout this book, I'm going to start learning that the chapters are really short. So, without further ado, because I understand that Chapter 4 is going to be a super short video, I will keep it a short video. It's only like 2 pages for like a chapter, which is really surprising. So, it actually might save me some time when I'm uploading every single video to keep the, have the short videos for chapter by chapter. But at the same time, it'll be pretty short for you because then you can watch them daily and say, oh, I'm already at chapter 5. But it only takes me like 2 minutes or like 10 minutes in total to listen through like 1 to 5. So I hope you enjoy, and let's continue in chapter 4. Luke found out what his mother meant a few days later when he came down for breakfast. As usual, he opened the door from the back stairs to the kitchen only a crack. He could remember barely a handful of times in his entire life when someone had dropped by before breakfast, and each time Mother had managed to send Matthew and Mark up to warn Luke to stay out of sight. But he always checked. Today he could see Dad, Matthew, and Mark at the table. He knew from the sound of frying bacon that Mother must be at the stove. "Are the shades closed?" he called softly. Mother opened the door to the stairs. Luke started to step into the kitchen, but she put out her arm to keep him back. She handed him a plate full of scrambled eggs and bacon. "Luke, honey, can you eat sitting at the bottom of the step there?" "What?" Luke asked. Mother looked beseechingly over her shoulder. "Dad thinks, it's not safe for you to have, it's not safe anymore to have you in the kitchen. You can still eat with us and talk with us, but you'll be over here." She waved her hand towards the stairs behind Luke. "But with the shades pulled," Luke started. "One of those workers asked me yesterday, 'Hey, farmer, you got air conditioning in that house of yours?'" Dad sent from the table. He didn't turn around. He didn't seem to want to look at Luke. "We keep the shades pulled. Hot day like today. People get suspicious. This way it's safer. I'm sorry." And then, Dad did turn around and glance at Luke once. Luke tried to keep from looking upset. And then, Dad did turn around. Oh, I already read that. "So, what did you tell him?" Matthew asked, as if the worker's question was only a matter of curiosity. "Told him, of course, we don't have air conditioning. Farming don't make nobody a millionaire." Dad took a long sip of coffee. "Okay, Luke?" Mother asked. "Yes," he mumbled. He took the plate of eggs and bacon, but it didn't look good to him now. He knew every bite he ate would stick in his throat. He sat down on the step out of sight of both kitchen windows. "We'll leave the door open," Mother said. She hovered over him, as if unwilling to return to the stove. "This isn't too much different, is it?" "Mother," Dad said warningly. Through the open windows, Luke could hear the rumble of several trucks and cars. The workers had arrived for the day. He knew from watching through the vent the past few days that the caravan of vehicles came up the road like a parade. The cars would peel off to the side and unload the nicer dressed men. The more rugged vehicles pulled on into the muddiest sections, and the people inside would scatter over to the bulldozers and backhoes who had been left outside overnight. But the vehicles barely had time to get cold, because the workers were there now from sunup to sundown. Someone was in a hurry for them to finish. "Luke, I'm sorry," Mother said, and scurried back to the stove. She loaded a plate for herself and sat down at the table. Beside Luke's usual spot. Sorry about that. His chair wasn't even in the kitchen anymore. For a while, Luke watched Dad, Mother, Matthew, and Mark, eating in silence, a complete family of 4. Once, he cleared his throat, ready to protest again. "You can't do this. It's not fair." Then he choked back the words, unspoken. They were only trying to protect him. What could he do? Resolutely, I probably read the word before, but resolutely, Luke stuck his fork into the pile of scrambled eggs on his plate and took a bite. He ate the whole plateful of food without tasting any of it. And that is the end of Chapter 4, so this would be Part 5 in the audiobook series. I'm going to try to get these out pretty quickly because they are extremely short videos. Like, the last one was a little bit longer, but this one's, it's amazing. Like, how can somebody make a whole chapter that short? Like, I don't get it, but I'm not complaining because sometimes if you're on a long chapter, you're just like, it goes on forever. So that is the end of Part 5 in the audiobook series, or Chapter 4 in Among the Hidden by Margaret Peterson Haddix in the Shadow Children series that she makes. All these series just combines, it just comes together and does all this weird stuff. Anyways, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Please rate and subscribe. Thanks, guys. Bye!